guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing my favorites of 2016. I was going to do a top 16 of 2016, but thought that'd be a little overkill. I do have a list. It's all in order, so from number 12 to number 1, that number 12 being my least favorite of my favorites to number 1 being my absolute favorite of my favorites. So yeah, there are multiple books for some of them. Like, some books have just one that also goes with it, so that's how I did this. That's how it's going to be. So yeah. So before we get into that, I wanted to do my top 3 disappointing books of 2016. I was going to do a separate video, but I don't really have many disappointing books. So yeah, there's just 3 that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't have 2 of them because, well, when I don't like a book, I get rid of it. I just do. The only reason I kept one of these is because it's an ARC. And this is actually my, so yeah, from 3 to 1, this is number 3 in my disappointing list, or my disappointing books of 2016. This one, The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. Yeah, what can I say? I really wanted to enjoy this. I got an ARC at BookCon. I got to meet Nicola Yoon. I absolutely love her. I got it signed, as well as Everything, which is my favorite book by hers. And it was my favorite book of 2015, but I just didn't like this one. I gave this, I think, a 2-star rating. I just could not get into it, as I just couldn't enjoy it as much as other people did. And this is like loved on BookTube right now, and I was sorely disappointed. I didn't mind the romance between the two. I don't know, it just kept getting, you just kept getting those breaks. Like, here's Daniel, well, you can't really see that. There's Daniel, and then there's Natasha. Those 2 are the main characters. But then you would get these really stupid breaks. Where's one that I really, really hated? Which I don't know why, but I just could not get into this. And of course now I can't even find these breaks. There's just like other people that I just really wasn't, oh, here it is. I just really didn't care about. The concept of that just sounded really great, but I didn't really like it. But here's one that I really hate. It's a freaking history on hair and why it matters to them. I don't know. It just bothered me. And so yeah, I was bored. I didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars. So yeah, I really wanted to love this, but I just didn't. My number 2 would be With Malice by, I want to say, Eileen Cook. I think that's the author's name, but I'm not entirely sure. That one I really wanted to love too. I just couldn't. It was like a mystery thriller type book where a girl wakes up. She remembers nothing of the last like month or weeks or whatever time frame it was. She was in Italy in that time, and in that time, her and her best friend actually went on a field trip to Italy. It was for school, and her best friend never came home because her best friend died. So yeah, she wakes up in the hospital at home, and she doesn't remember anything. And they're all looking at her because they think, they consider her as a suspect. And I wanted to like that. I was really looking forward to that. I thought the concept was really great. I just didn't like it. I think I gave that one actually a 3-star rating because some of the parts were actually enjoyable, but I felt the main character was just awful. I didn't like her. And yeah, I didn't like the best friend. I didn't like anything, really. Except there were moments that I did enjoy. And I thought it was a addicting read because as you just kept reading, you had to know. Like, why did she die and who killed her? And when I found out, I just didn't care. So yeah, probably should have just given that a 2-star rating, but I gave it a 3 because I guess I did feel it was addicting, and there were some moments that were good, but that was it. And then my most disappointing book, 2016, that I literally actually hate. I gave it 1 star on Goodreads, and you probably already know what it is because I talked about it a lot. And that is Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard, which is the sequel to Red Queen, which I enjoyed. Red Queen, I say this a lot. I enjoy Red Queen. I really did. I thought it was a pretty good start to a series, and I was anticipating the next book. I was eager to read the sequel, the continuation, but when I did, everything that I liked about Red Queen was just gone. It had vanished. The main character was awful. I literally hated her, and I loved her in Red Queen. I thought she was actually pretty good. I hated her. All the characters that I had grown to like were just shit. Sorry for my language. I just really hated that book. And yeah, there were just moments that happened. I just stopped caring about everything. I was forcing myself to finish it, hoping that the ending just had to get better. But it didn't. It was worse. So much worse. And I'm not ever going to continue. I know the 3rd and final book comes out next month, I believe, but I don't care. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm not going to read it. No thanks. It just went downhill. So, enough about the negative moments of 2016. Let's go on to the positive moments. The books that I really, really enjoyed in 2016. And because this video is going to be completely super long, I'm not really going to go into synopses. Maybe I'll say something like really small, something little, but that's it. So for number 12, it's 2 books. And it's the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. You have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, books 1 and 2 in the series, or in the duology. And I loved it. I thought it was really amazing. Six of Crows, I think, is my favorite. Crooked Kingdom was a really good conclusion, and continuation / conclusion. Thought it was really good. I kind of wanted more from the ending. But that's how I am all the time. So I don't really judge books on that, because I always want more. And that's always good, because you always want more, Even though I had hoped that the wrap-up would give me a little bit more, but it was okay. I still really enjoyed it, and I loved it. But Six of Crows, I think, is my favorite. I always like the first books, for some reason. The first books are always pretty good, and then I hope that the continuations get either better or just as good. But yeah, the first books are always really good to me, and I really loved it. This is all about a band of misfits getting together to pull off the ultimate heist. It was amazing. The conclusion was amazing, and I absolutely loved this this duology, and that's why it's on this list, because it was really great. I'm gonna try and find room for all these books now. For number 11, I have The Forbidden Wish by Jessica Corey. This is a reimagining of Aladdin, where Aladdin and the genie, who is Zahara, they fall in love. And it's amazing. There's a lot more to it, but I really enjoyed this book, and that's why it's one of my favorites. I love the writing. I love the reimagining of it. It's a take on one of my absolute favorite stories, and just made it a whole lot better, actually. So yeah, I really love Zahara. I think she was an amazing female main character. She was a kick-butt character, and I absolutely loved her. And Aladdin was pretty great too, but Zahara, I think, is my favorite of this whole book. So yeah, this was great. Number 11. Number 10 would be 2 books as well, and they're not the same series, but they do go together anyway, and that is the Trials of Apollo Book 1, The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan, as well as Magnus Chase Book 1, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. These are both first books in his new series. we have the Trials of Apollo series as well as the Magnus Chase series. This has to do with Norse mythology. This has to do with Greek mythology. This continues on from the Heroes of Olympus series, which continued on from Percy Jackson, and I absolutely love it. Magnus Chase is a relative of Annabeth Chase, so come on. They're both amazing. I absolutely love them both, and I'm really glad I read them both in 2016. This already has a sequel. I have not read it yet. It came out the end of last year of 2016, and it's called The Hammer of Thor. I own it, I just haven't read it. I've been meaning to really get to it, and I know it's on my TBR for this month. I just don't know if I'll really be able to get to it yet. But yeah, I mean, they're both amazing, and yeah, so I'm really glad I read these in 2016. Alright, so for number 9, yeah, number 9, we have An Author's Odyssey by, oh no, this is The Land of Stories, Book 5, An Author's Odyssey by Chris Colfer. And this book was amazing. I absolutely love it. It was a great continuation to the series. I can't really go into detail on this book because it is a continuation in the series. But the first book has to do with 2 siblings receiving a book, a fairy tale book from their grandmother for their birthday, which was in their family for quite a while, and they find out it's a portal to the fairy tale world, and they get stuck inside, and it's freaking amazing. I absolutely love this series. It also delves into my favorite fairy tales. It's just amazing. I love Chris Colfer's writing. I love all these characters. Even the ones that I absolutely hate, I really love. And, I mean, if you love Once Upon a Time, you should read this series because literally it's middle grade, but I don't care. It's amazing. And there's romance too, here and there, as well as adventure, and yeah, it's just amazing. And the 4th book, Beyond the Kingdoms, goes into other books. Yeah, it's awesome. Pick this up. Alright, so what are we on now? Number 8, I think. We have It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, which is her latest book that came out, and I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. This is her most personal book that she's ever written. She does go into detail in the author's note at the back. I'm not really going to explain anything because I went into this blind and really enjoyed it blind. I was surprised by everything that had happened, but I don't know, I kind of liked it like that, so that's why I don't really tell you what it is. If you want a fluffy contemporary romance that's just full of love and hope and everything that you want from a fluffy contemporary romance, don't pick this up because this will just break your heart. Yeah, this book, it starts off like a regular contemporary romance that's full of fluff and everything, and then you start getting to the nitty-gritty aspects of it, and I really enjoyed those parts. But yeah, I mean, you should just, there's trigger warning to something. I'm not gonna go into it because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah. Just, I mean, I guess this one doesn't start off as fluffy, because it does start off a little dark, but it definitely gets darker towards, yeah, towards the middle/end to the book. So, but it's amazing. I absolutely loved it. Definitely go into this. If you've read Colleen Hoover's books already, you should definitely read that if you haven't. Number 7, My Lady Jane by Cynthia Han, Brody Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. This book is a take on the history of Lady Jane Grey, who was Queen of England for 9 days before getting her head cut off. This is not that history. They do put a twist on that history, though. So for the, which I cannot remember what the name to this is, not the intro, not the introduction, it's not the, oh my god, I can never remember what it is. It's when the dedication. It's called The Dedication. Okay, I can never remember that. So, okay, here's The Dedication. So for everyone who knows, there was enough room for Leonardo DiCaprio on that door. Seriously. Yeah. And for England, we're really sorry for what we're about to do to your history. The Dedication's amazing. I love this book. But yeah, like I said, it's a take on that history, but it's a fantastical take because they're shapeshifters. Like, half of England is shapeshifters, and the other half hate them. You're either a supporter or you're not. I believe the non-supporters are called the Verities, I think. And, yeah. And I think, Ethians are the shapeshifters. So, this book's amazing. I absolutely loved it. Pick it up. It's funny. It's it's got romance. It's got pretty much everything, and I absolutely loved it. Alright, so for number 6, I have another set of 2. I have Illuminae as well as Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is books 1 and 2 in the Illuminae Files trilogy. I absolutely loved it. It's sci-fi. It's told in multimedia format. I can't really go into the synopsis because I will suck. And yeah, I will not explain it well. So just pick this up because it's amazing. Literally. And this video is getting really long. I hate when I cough. So yeah. The series is amazing. I didn't even want to pick it up because I'm not a fan of sci-fi. But I did, and I'm really glad I did. And yeah, you should too if you haven't already picked it up. Because it's amazing. And I'm going to keep saying that throughout this video. Number 5 is another set of 2, and that is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, as well as The Tales from the Shadowhunters Academy by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. Yeah, I mean, both in the Shadowhunter world. This is Simon's point of view after the events of City of Heavenly Fire, and this is also takes place years after City of Heavenly Fire, where Emma and Julian and that family have all grown up. And Emma and Julian are parabatai, and there's a forbidden romance in here, as well as Faye, and just amazing. And there's also like a mystery thriller aspect to this. It's amazing. I absolutely love this book. And I really loved this one as well. This is a bind-up of 11 novellas in Simon's point of view, told after City of Heavenly Fire. That's really all I can go into this. Man, I always cough. There's a lot of speculation whether or not you should read this one before this one, or read it after, or yeah. My take is that you should read this before this, because there are some spoilers in here that you won't understand, or you wouldn't have seen unless you read this, but it's not that big. You know, I read this before I read this because that's just how I am, that's how I like to do it. But again, you don't have to read this if you don't want to, or if you want to read this after Lady Midnight, I totally understand. But again, they're both amazing, and really, it doesn't matter how you read it, you should just definitely read it, because this is amazing as well as this, so pick them both up. So for number 4, I have Heartless by Marissa Meyer, which is a origin story to the Queen of Hearts. Yeah. I absolutely love this book. This was amazing. A lot of people didn't actually enjoy this, and I don't understand why, because I really loved it. But again, I understand, because a lot of the books that I really don't enjoy are everybody's favorite. So, to each their own. I really enjoyed it. Catherine, or Kath, is a baker, and she just wants to own a bakery, but she is a noble woman, and that just can't happen. But that's her dream. But, of course, as we all know, fate intervenes and she becomes Queen of Hearts. Just the story of how she becomes Queen of Hearts is just, you know, heartbreaking. This story is just beautiful and heartbreaking, and it's just, yeah, you should just pick it up. I absolutely loved it, so yeah. Number 3 is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This is all about a boy who is gay. He, I don't know if he's out. I can't remember if he came out to his family or not. No, he's not open. So he hasn't come out yet. And he has been emailing this boy, Blue. But Blue is not his real name. Blue is a nickname. But they both go to the same school, though Simon has no idea who Blue is, though he believes, and we know, Blue knows who Simon is. There goes the train. So it was just amazing. But one day, well, after they emailed and everything, Simon forgets to turn the computer off after he, or forgets to turn off the messaging or whatever he was on, to close the page or whatever. And he has to go to his next class, and a boy, another kid finds these emails and blackmails Simon. This book was amazing. I really want to reread it again. I know Becky Albertalli is coming out with another book. I'm definitely gonna pick that up the minute I can, because this was absolutely amazing and I absolutely love her. So Becky Albertalli is definitely becoming my new favorite author, because yeah, just from this book alone, this was, oh, I'm still gushing. Number 2, Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas, which is book 5 in the Throne of Glass series. Can't really go into this at all, just if you haven't picked up the series, where have you been? But really, if you haven't, it's all about assassins and romance, and there's fae, and there's so much. Selena is a kick-butt assassin, and I love her. So if you guys have seen my videos before, you know I have 2 copies of this. This is where it gets really sad. So I bought 2 copies because one copy has the really beautiful end pages that have like the fan art, which I really loved. And then one had the dust jacket, which was really gorgeous and had, you know, fan art as well. So the reason I had to put them both together, because this is my other copy. I just realized this today. I picked this up, you know, to put this on my list, or to put this in my stack, and I picked up this copy, and there's the binding. The binding is like totally unglued. I was really sad to find out about this, but I'm really glad that I have another copy, because I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I was just really, really sad by that. So yeah. Alright. So, number 1. Guys, if you don't already know what number 1 is, one, you probably have never seen my videos before, and that's perfectly fine. But if you have seen my videos before and you don't know what number 1 is, really? I mean, it's so obvious. It's Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I love this book so much. Asimov is my favorite book, like, of all time now, because now I just want to pick this up and read it again. I absolutely love it. I can't wait for ACOWAR, which is coming out in May. I think it's like May 2nd or something like that, or May 16th, something around there. It comes out in May, and I absolutely cannot wait for it. I mean, I thought I loved ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I thought I loved that. I thought it was really great and amazing, and it was like my second favorite book of 2015, which Everything was my favorite. So I thought, she couldn't get better after ACOTAR. I mean, how could she? Then Asimov came out, and she got better. This book took over my life. This book is huge, and it took over my life. I thought Tamlin was the one for me. I thought it was just Tamlin forever. But Rhysand, he will always be my everything. Everything. Oh my god, I love him. I love him so much. Yeah. So Rhysand is number 1 now. Screw Tamlin. I hope he dies in a fire. Not gonna go any more in because I probably already, you know, spoiled enough for you. But yeah, I mean, I bet you've already seen plenty of videos where everybody is just raving about Rhysand because he's amazing. And this book is just everything to me. This book is now my Bible. You can't touch it. You can't have it. This book is my everything. I keep saying. And if anybody comes into my room and touches it, I will burn their hand off. If anybody hurts this book, somebody will die because I love this book so much. I'm going way too over dramatic right now. But yeah, pick this up if you haven't because this is amazing. Alright, I'm done. It's 25 minutes in and I've talked too much. Okay, so this is my favorites of 2016. Also slash my least favorites of 2016 because yeah, there were a couple. So yeah, I mean, this is everything that I loved slash hated for 2016, and I think I had a pretty decent year. I mean, 2016 was actually pretty good. Yeah, I had so many books that I really liked, and I'm really happy about that. I hope 2017 will just continue to get better, and yeah. I mean, there's really not much more I can say about this. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Oh, one more thing. This setup won't be like this anymore. Well, I mean, it might be a little bit like this, but I'm changing my bookshelves again. I was supposed to do this like 45 minutes ago. I want to do this video first before going into, you know, rearranging all my shelves. But yeah, I'll go more into it when I've already rearranged it and everything and do my next video. But I definitely needed to do something else because you can't tell, there's books stacked everywhere. I have no room and I have to make room. So I'm gonna open up another shelf to make room. So hopefully I can just, you know, fix everything and make it look all nice, and yeah. Hopefully I can make more room. So that's what I'm trying to do. So really, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Happy reading.